and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will be talking about non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So let's start the session. In non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, there is absence of Reed-Sternberg cells, which is characteristic of Hodgkin's lymphoma. So lymphomas are of two types, Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And in Hodgkin's lymphoma, there is presence of Reed-Sternberg cells, whereas in non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, there is no Reed-Sternberg cells. These non-Hodgkin lymphomas are of two types, B-cell lymphomas and T-cell lymphomas. For a better understanding, we can see here in this image, this is a part of a lymph node which is showing the cortex and the paracortex. In the cortex, there is germinal center, surrounding it is the mantle zone, and surrounding it is the marginal zone. The lymphomas which develop from the germinal zone are the follicular lymphoma and the Burkitt lymphoma, and the lymphomas which develop from the mental zone are mental zone lymphoma. The lymphomas which develop from the marginal zone are known as the marginal zone lymphoma. And from the paracortex T cells, there is development of lymphomas of T cell origin or T cell lymphomas. According to WHO classification, the lymphomas are divided into B cell neoplasm and T bar NK cell neoplasm. The B cell neoplasms are B lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma, chronic lymphocytic leukemia or small lymphocytic lymphoma, lymphoplasmacytic lymphoma, follicular lymphoma, marginal zone lymphoma, mantle cell lymphoma, diffuse large B cell lymphoma, plasmablastic lymphoma, and Burkitt's lymphoma. The B cell lymphomas are more common than T cell lymphomas. So, in this video, I will be talking more about the B cell lymphomas. Talking about the T cell lymphomas are T lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma, adult T cell leukemia lymphoma, peripheral T cell lymphoma not otherwise specified, anaplastic large cell lymphoma, follicular T cell lymphoma, extranodal NK bar T cell lymphomas nasal type, hepatosplenic T cell lymphoma, enteropathy associated T cell lymphoma, and angioimmunoblastic T cell lymphoma. Now, talking about the pathogenesis of lymphomas generally occurs due to genetic mutations, which causes decrease in apoptosis and increase of cellular proliferation, leading to unregulated growth of the lymphocytes, causing lymphomas. There are certain translocations which are specific for certain lymphomas, like translocation 11 is to 14 for mantle cell lymphoma, translocation 14 is to 18 for follicular lymphoma, translocation 8 is to 14 for Burkitt's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and translocation 3 is to 14 for DLBCL or diffuse large B cell lymphoma. Let me tell you about some common B cell lymphomas. Follicular lymphoma is a type of B cell lymphoma and has an indolent course. In this, there is translocation of 14 is to 18, which causes overexpression of BCL2. And as you all know, that BCL2 is an anti-apoptotic gene, then it causes decreased apoptosis and there is unregulated growth of lymphocytes, which leads to follicular lymphoma. And as the name suggests, there are development of lymphoid follicles in this lymphoma. Mantle zone lymphoma is again a type of B cell lymphoma which has aggressive course. In this, there is chromosomal translocation to 11 is to 14, and there because of that, there is overexpression of BCL1, which causes activation of cyclin D1, which causes cell proliferation and leads to lymphoma. Marginal zone lymphoma is also a type of B cell lymphoma which shows indolent growth. These marginal lymphomas can be extranodal and nodal. The most common type of extranodal marginal zone lymphomas are the MART lymphomas or the mucosa associated lymphoid tissue lymphomas, which most commonly involves the gastric lining. And when involves the gastric lining, this is generally associated with H. pylori infection. Other types of marginal zone lymphoma are splenic marginal zone lymphoma and nodal marginal zone lymphomas, which generally are confined to lymph nodes, bone marrow, and blood. Diffuse large B cell lymphoma is the most common type of lymphoma in adults, around 25 to 30% of non Hodgkin's lymphoma cases. It has a very aggressive growth pattern and it occurs because of mutations in BCL2 and BCL6 translocation 3 is to 14. Burkitt's lymphoma is again a type of B cell lymphoma which has highly aggressive growth pattern, and in this there is translocation 8 is to 14 which causes overexpression of MYC gene which leads to increased cellular division. The characteristic of Burkitt's lymphoma is that there is starry sky appearance in the micrograph here if you can see, and this is because of presence of tangible body macrophages interspersed with monotonous population of neoplastic lymphoid cells. In African population, extranodal involvement of jaw is common, associated with Epstein-Barr virus infection in Burkitt's lymphoma. However, in other places in Burkitt's lymphoma, extranodal involvement of abdomen is seen, which is generally not associated with Epstein-Barr virus infection. Lymphoplasmacytic lymphoma is also a type of B cell lymphoma, and when it develops in blood, then it is also known as Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia, in which there is IgM monoclonal gammopathy. And the symptoms here are hyperviscosity, swollen lymph nodes, hepatosplenomegaly, etc. Briefly, I will be talking about T cell lymphomas. As I have told you, that the T cell lymphomas are less common than B cell lymphomas. Adult T cell leukemia lymphoma is associated with human lymphotropic virus HTLV1. There is a special type of T cell lymphoma which you commonly encounter, which is mycosis fungoides, also known as cutaneous T cell lymphoma. This disease usually begin with flat, scaly, pink or red patches on the skin, often on the lower abdomen, upper thighs, buttocks, and breast. These patch can disappear and reappear or remain stable. In later stages, the patch can thicken and raise to become plaques. If the T cells of cutaneous T cell lymphoma goes into blood, then you can see these kind of cerebriform cells, and there is seizure syndrome. Talking about the signs and symptoms of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, well, there is peripheral adenopathy, which can involve any lymph node group, for example, cervical, axillary, inguinal, retroperitoneal, mediastinal. Any lymph node group can be involved, and there is no contiguous involvement in this. Also, there can be presence of B symptoms, which are fever, night sweats, and weight loss. Other symptoms depend on the type of adenopathy. For example, if there is mediastinal lymphadenopathy, the patient can present with cough, dyspnea, chest pain, superior vena cava syndrome, etc., due to compression of structures around the mediastinal lymph nodes like lung, heart, and superior vena cava. If there is intestinal involvement or bulky abdominal adenopathy, then the patient can present with abdominal pain and bowel obstruction. A variety of tests should be done to diagnose and confirm non Hodgkin's lymphoma. For pathological confirmation, biopsy of the lymph node is done and immunophenotyping on it is done. Other tests for staging and to know the extent of lymphoma, radiographic tests are done like chest X-ray, abdominal scans, PET scan, bone scan, upper GI endoscopy, HIV testing, CSF examination, bone marrow aspiration or biopsy, and blood tests like complete blood counts, renal function test, liver function test, LDH test, etc. The staging of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is done by an Arbor staging system where non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is divided from stage 1 to stage 4, and it depends on the number of lymph nodes involved, the site against the diaphragm involved, and presence of extranodal involvement or bulky disease. I have explained Ann Arbor staging system in the video of Hodgkin's lymphoma on my channel. You can refer to it. The treatment of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma depend on the type and the stage of the lymphoma. For example, lymphomas which have indolent course, they are generally treated by rituximab or chemotherapy combination, or radiotherapy. And the aggressive lymphomas are treated by combination chemotherapy, rituximab, radiotherapy, and autologous stem cell rescue treatment. Now, this was quite a vast topic, and I hope you have understood the major aspects of non Hodgkin lymphoma. As I have told you, non Hodgkin lymphoma is more common than Hodgkin lymphoma, and B cell lymphomas are more common than T cell lymphomas. So, I have elaborated mostly on B cell lymphomas. I hope you liked the lecture. Thanks, and bye for now.